Namaskar. In this video, I'm going to discuss about role of philosophers in French Revolution. My focus will be on philosophers and their idea. So it is very pertinent to first we discuss about the philosophy. So what is philosophy? In general sense, philosophy means the way we think, our behavior, attitude. It is a general meaning of philosophy. You have heard many times that people say like that it is my philosophy, but if we connected this term to uh, particular subject, then the core knowledge of any subject is considered as a philosophy. But philosophy itself is a subject, and it deals with the fundamental questions related to nature, uh, knowledge, ethics, what is wrong, what is right, reasoning, some fundamental questions like God, existence. Uh, but here we are not going to discuss about all these things. As I have said that every subject has its a philosophy. So here we are going to discuss about political philosophy. So what philosophers do? They develop their thoughts, their ideas on particular subject, and then they appeal to our critical mind. We can say that they appeal to critical mind of a common people, and on the basis of their ideas, people get inspired and they act. So we can say that they create awareness or they educated people and then people think. And sometimes their idea revolutionized the society. So here we are going to discuss about some philosophers. So prominent philosophers of responsible for French Revolution was John Locke. His famous book was Two Treatises of Government. So Locke believed in a liberal monarchy, or we can say that he was in favor of a liberal democracy. He refuted the divine right theory. He was against the absolute monarch. You all have a little bit idea about absolute ruler, as absolute ruler has exercised unlimited power, and they don't have any restriction on their power. So, what is divine right theory? So, divine right theory advocate or it emphasizes on thought that king has a mandate to rule from God, and nobody can ask question to king. So, the divine right theory also has some religious dimensions. So, Locke believed that a king must be limited, and king must protect some natural rights of people. If king is not providing and respecting or protecting the people's right, natural rights like life, liberty, and other rights, then people have right to overthrow the particular king or monarch. It is a like of it is some sort of agreement or contract. Later, this type of idea was also adopted by Rousseau, and he developed this idea into a more perfect or a more idealistic kind of theory, which is known as social contract theory. So Rousseau, social contract was his famous book. So he his idea was more mature than Locke, or more idealistic than Locke. He said that king and people, we can say that king and subject, both are subject to a contract. So there is an agreement between king and subject, and according to this agreement, king must rule according to general will of the people. So what is general will? We can say that the common good or common interest, what is good for a large number of people is considered as a common good. So king must rule according to general will. He should not rule according to individual will or will of some people. So if uh, king is not ruling according to general will, then people have right to overthrow the king. So it is just opposite to the theory, uh, which was very prevalent in the medieval era of divine right theory. So he was very famous, and this theory was also a base for a modern democracy and modern democracy based on different types of rights. Another important thinker, which was related to French Revolution, was Montesquieu. Montesquieu, in his big book, The Spirit of Law, advocated about division of power. He also advocated that power must be distributed among all three states, namely first estate, third estate, and second estate. But he also said that government must have organ for different functions. Law making, law implementation, and law interpretation should be allotted to different organ of the government. If a single body is doing all subject, just like a king in monarchy, then there will be a unjustful system. If you want a justful system, if you want a better system, then there must be a division of power. He said that there won't be a freedom anyway if judiciary body is not separated from the legislative and executive. If judges are appointed by the monarch, then they we cannot expect some sort of good justice from these type of judges. So these judges or the different body must have their separate uh, constitution. They must have their separate jurisdictions. If they have separate jurisdictions, they will act independently, and they they can also check and balance each other. So later on, his idea was adopted by Americans, and now we can see that the division of power is a very foundations of all democracies. So I hope now you can have little bit idea about division of power. Once again, I'm going to repeat this. If you find monarchy, a monarch is responsible for all kind of. A monarch was responsible for all kind of works. Monarch uh, was making law, monarch was implementing law, and monarch was punishing law. So uh, there are more chances of corrupt administration if we are distributing these three work, making, implementing, and interpretation to different organs, then there are there will be a more chances of a better government. Last one is Voltaire. Although in ancient textbook there is very little reference or about Voltaire, but Voltaire has very important. Voltaire had very important role in French Revolution. He was French philosopher, and he was also imprisoned in Bastille for his uh, freedom of expression. He was very he was very critical of Catholic Church. He was advocated of British type government, and he made fun of religious authority for their behavior, their accumulation of wealth, and his writing and his words inspired people during entire phase of French Revolution. Thank you.